Welcome to lesson 1 on dimensional analysis, and in this lesson you're going to watch how I convert units using this method, which is a little bit different than what you've seen in middle school, which was using our math ratio tables. So as I work through the problems today, you're going to look to see how I do these 4 steps. In the first one, you're going to look to see how I write the given measurement as a fraction, so check to see how I'm doing that part. How I'm setting up that fraction into being multiplied by a given factor, and how I'm going to figure that out. I'm going to use my reference sheet to figure out what that conversion factor is, and then finally I'm going to multiply straight across my fractions and simplify my problems. And this is based on this standard over here for Algebra 1. So let's get started. Okay, here's our first problem for today. I'm going to use dimensional analysis to answer the question and round to the nearest tenth. How many pounds are in 12 kilograms? And after I do this with dimensional analysis, I'm going to use another way, in this case, the math ratio table from middle school, to show how many pounds are in 12 kilograms. And I also have my calculator with me because I'm not going to do this by hand. We have calculators as tools, so we're going to use them. All right, so here's our first step. I'm going to start by actually writing our fraction. Here's our 12 kilograms, and I'm going to just put it over 1 as our fraction. And I know I'm going to do some multiplying here, but I need to know what I'm multiplying by. So I'm going to look over here at our conversion chart, and I'm going to try and find a relationship between kilograms and pounds. So scan through and you'll be able to see right here, that's our conversion factor. Now 1 kilogram is equal to 2.2 pounds. So what I'm going to do, because I want numbers on numerator and denominator to cancel out, I want the kilograms here on the bottom. And the reason I want that is because when I have a final answer, I'm going to have a kilogram, and these are going to cancel out because the number times itself is just equal to 1. So that's what I want happening at the end. I just wanted to give you a little bit of preview of what that's going to look like. Okay, so I'm going to put my 1 kilogram at the bottom, and my conversion is 2.2 pounds. All right, LB for pounds. All right, and that's what I want. I don't have to do any more converting because I have the exact factor that I want. So I'm just going to put an equal sign here. Denominator is pretty easy. It's just going to be 1 kilogram. And on the top, I'm just going to do 12 times 2.2. So I'm going to use my calculator for that. And I get 26.4 kilograms times pounds. But remember what I told you, I want these to cancel, so kilograms are going to cancel on both of them, and that's going to leave me with a final answer of 26.4 pounds. There it is. That's my final answer. You can hit pause and jot this down. Okay, so again, all the things you can see how I started off with a fraction. I found my conversion factor, and I use that to multiply, and I made sure to set it up so that the units, one on the top, one on the bottom, so they will cancel out. Some people don't like to cancel at the end like I did. Some people cancel throughout, so you can just see the pounds. Both ways are fine, and I'll show you that in the next example anyway. All right, so let's say you want to do this like a middle schooler and just using math. So this is what we were doing before. We would write our ratio table, and we had our 2 units. We had kilograms and we had pounds, and our first ratio was that conversion factor. It's what we knew, and we knew that 1 kilogram was equal to 2.2 pounds. And then we wanted to put our second ratio, the thing we were figuring out. We knew that we had 12 kilograms, but we didn't know what this number was over here. So that's how we used to set it up. We would then just cross multiply, get our cross products. So we knew that 1x is equal to 12 times 2.2. In this case, it's just x is equal to, and we already know this answer here is going to be 26.4. And because our x is here in the pounds part, we would just put pounds. So both of these methods work for figuring out how to convert units. So hit pause and jot this down. We're going to do another set together. Let's look at one more. Diana walked 3,650 yards to get to school. How many miles did she walk? So I know I'm going to use yards and miles. So I already found that conversion factor. So walk through, you're going to again check off what are the things we're doing. I want to start with our first number, 3,650 yards over 1. What's our conversion factor? We have it right here. Remember, you want the yards on the bottom and you want the miles on the top. So 1 mile is 1,760 yards, and that's the only part we need. So again, here I'm just going to show you I could actually cross these out because I know they're going to cross out, they're going to cancel out, and that gives us 3,650 miles divided by 1,760. So we do have to simplify this, and that's just going to be a regular division sentence. So I'm just going to use our calculator. 3,650 come on calculator, there we go, divided by 1,760, and that gives me a final answer of 2.073. Now remember, they did want us to round to the nearest tenth, so I'm going to round this off to, actually I'm going to use my little symbol, 2.1 miles. So here we go. I'm just going to cross out. Here's our final answer. All right, so there you go. As you go into your practice, particularly your checkpoint, make sure you're doing the exact same thing, starting off with your fraction, your first unit, write as fraction, find the conversion factor from your conversion chart, and then you're just multiplying across. The biggest, what I would say is the hot spot, is figuring out when you have that conversion factor, where do you put our units? Do you put it on the top or bottom? But remember, you want them to cross out. So a lot of times you want to see this diagonal, so that this unit will cross out with that one. That's it for today's lesson, Math Marbles. I will see you in the next one. Take care.